Hey y'all, today I want to go over my ELA curriculums that we have used in the past and what we're using right now. ELA stands for English Language Arts, and that includes grammar, spelling, reading, or literature. You can choose a curriculum that includes all of these, or you can pick and choose different curriculums for each one of those subjects. As I have mentioned in previous videos, we used My Father's World when I was just new to homeschooling, and it's a precious, precious curriculum. I loved it, and if I had a little, I would definitely use My Father's World again. Now, once we got to about first grade, it does continue on, but I didn't love it. I loved it for the little grades, but then I was experienced with Abeka. That's what I used growing up. I went to a private school, and Abeka is what they used from K through 12th grade. That was familiar to me, and we moved to the Abeka ELA. I thought it was great. Like I said, it was familiar to me. My kids did okay with it. It did seem to have a little bit of busy work, and we would just pick and choose what we were going to do and what we were going to skip and what was needed. So I liked having that extra practice, those extra worksheets, just in case it was something that we were struggling with and we needed that extra work. If not, then we could always just skip it and do something else. They started struggling with the spelling at first because it was the traditional, you have a list of words, you memorize the words, you go over and over and over them, you write them 5 times when you get them wrong, and you move on, and you just memorize it, you learn it. That was the first that we started to move away from Abeka, was with spelling. And when I found BJU Press for spelling, BJU went over the spelling list and explained why each word was spelled the way that it was. And with our crazy English language, that's important. There are so many rules, and then of course exceptions to those rules. We also used easy grammar for I think maybe 1 semester. I did not love it. It seemed too easy. It didn't seem like enough. The kids loved it because they blew through it and they're like, hey, done, finished. 1 worksheet each day. Maybe if we would have stuck with it, then maybe I would have seen the reason for the workload being so light each day, but it just made me nervous, and such a difference coming from Abeka that I didn't feel like it was for us. Same thing with Explode the Code. We liked it. I thought it was good. Like I said before in a previous video, I don't think I have ever come across a bad curriculum. Nothing that we have ever experienced was wrong or detrimental to our educational experience, but just not for us. Same thing with Explode the Code. It was not for us. I didn't feel like it was enough. It was rigorous enough, and moving from Abeka to BJU made a lot of sense. They're very similar, and it had strengths that Abeka didn't have that I preferred for our family, the way that I teach. I loved having the teacher's manual, where basically it's just a script and tells you exactly what to say, and it shows you a picture of the worksheet that your child is working on with all of the answers filled in. So everything's right there in front of you. BJU is still what we use for our grammar, for our writing, and for our reading, and for our spelling, but we use the distance learning option at this time. Mostly for mama's sanity. I have 3 children in 3 different grades, and it was too much to sit around the table all day with each subject, with each one. And I wanted to foster a little bit more of independence and them taking control of their own learning each day. Now, for littles, oh, this was so fun. Go. As soon as this video is over, go look up. If you have littles, go look up 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. It is a precious website. I believe the printables on there are free. I printed, who knows, I printed dozens of sheets off of her website, and I went to Walmart and bought a laminator, the most fun toy that a homeschool mama can have, and I laminated all the things. That thing just stayed hot for hours. It was great. Little manipulatives, little puzzles, the dot markers, we did that, I believe, through them. It was just really great. She has a great curriculum for the younger ages, and you can choose themes like princesses and ballerinas or pirates, all kind of different cool stuff. It's fantastic. Take a look around her website. This is not sponsored. She doesn't know who I am. We just really enjoyed it during that time period of our education. Also, another website is Confessions of a Homeschooler. I bought I think it was the letter of the week, pulled out my laminator once again and went to town and had fun. She also has some really, really great worksheets. I have really enjoyed her materials as well when they were younger, and I think that's where I found those phonics ladders. I remember those phonics ladders from when I was learning phonics growing up, and that was just the coolest. And so it has the vowels on each rung of the ladder, and we would use little refrigerator magnets, the alphabet magnets for the refrigerator, and put it on each one. And so it'd be a, I, ah. And then you would put your little letter B, your little refrigerator magnet, and it would be ba, bi, ba. You do that for each letter. I just thought that was the most fun. I know I'm probably a weirdo, but I thought that was great, and the children enjoyed it, and it was something that I enjoyed going over and learning and teaching them the way that I learned, kind of nostalgic, kind of fun. Those are the curriculums that we have experience with, that we have used in the past. Not a huge list, but what else can you use? Read. Your library card is incredibly useful. You can go to your local library and check out books on virtually anything. So if your child is into dragons or dinosaurs, you can go find books about that subject on their reading level, and they can have fun and go to town. Or you can find some books that are a little bit above their reading level, and you can read aloud to them. I did this a lot when they were little. Now my youngest, she's the baby of 3. She has not gotten as much out loud mama reading time as the other 2 have, and I'm trying to make up for that now. Even though she is capable of reading herself, sometimes she just likes when I read to her. And so I try to fit that into our day whenever I can, because that's something that I struggle with getting around to it. That sounds terrible, but that's just the way that our day goes. And in evening time, we have never been real big nighttime read to the kids. I don't know why that wasn't a thing. I would usually read after breakfast time, when I had a little time to sit down when they were little, and we would sit on the couch and read together. So nighttime reading wasn't a big thing in our house. It is now that all 3 can read on their own, and they're reading giant chapter books about Harry Potter and whatnot. They prefer to read right before they go to bed. That's how it worked out in our house, and if you can find a time during the day that works for you, definitely do that. There are book lists all over the internet. You can look up what books my child needs to read before they graduate, what every person needs to read before they go to college or in their lifetime. There are book lists that are grade specific. You can find 4th grade reading list for adventure or for history. One of my favorite reading lists is through Sunlight. You can find the list of books. It's a little bit tricky to get to, but it is on their website, and it goes by grade level. When you use Sunlight curriculum, use these books throughout the year as part of your curriculum. So of course that's something that you would buy or check out from the library. I just go through and make a list of each of those book titles. We grab the most interesting ones first. Sometimes I'll notice one that looks really, really great. I may buy that online. I may check out Amazon, or one of my other favorite places to visit is thriftbooks.com. Great place to find less expensive used books for your home library. We are still growing our home library, and it rotates as the kids get older and their interests change. And then there's some books in here that just won't go away. They are precious, they are timeless, and we have read and reread time and time again. Here is one example. Never getting rid of this. I'm never getting rid of any of my Dr. Seuss books, because even though all 3 of my children are above this reading level, this is good literature. There are even English and writing lessons that go back to all of the Dr. Seuss books. One of our co-op moms was teaching a writing class last year, and she used mostly Dr. Seuss books for a group of middle schoolers, because Dr. Seuss goes over a lot of the rhyming. Whenever you're writing, Dr. Seuss can be a good example for a lot of technical writing. One of them that I remember was, I can't pronounce it, onomatopoeia. onomatopoeia. That was definitely a Dr. Seuss book about the sounds that words make. These are staying. The other ones that we're keeping is some picture books that are just really great, and some chapter books that are, you know, the Newbery Award winners and things like that. You can always look up that list. So you can just do a search on reading list for children, their age or their grade level or their reading level, and get started there with your library card, and that will benefit your child so much. I hope you enjoyed this video about my reviews on the curriculums that we have used for ELA. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this as well, and if I gave you some information and some things to think about. Please subscribe to see more homeschooling videos. Occasionally we throw in one of the videos of the kids playing and doing something fun, you know, lifestyles or day in the life of homeschool kids, just something silly every now and then. They enjoy it. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all later. Bye-bye.